What if your most valuable possession isn't time, but the invisible current that flows through it? In a world where people chase deadlines, fill planners, and measure their worth in productivity, we've forgotten the deeper exchange happening beneath it all. Every meeting, every scroll, every thought costs energy. Time may be the stage, but energy is the performance unfolding upon it. Society tells us to manage time, yet time is only a number. Energy is the feeling of being alive within those hours. We've built lives around minutes, but lost touch with the pulse that gives those minutes meaning. Because when your energy fades, no amount of time can bring your spirit back. And that's where our illusion begins. Time is only the container. Energy is the essence that fills it. And how we spend that essence defines the quality of our existence. We've learned how to manage our hours, but forgotten how to feel alive within them. From the moment we wake up, the race begins. Alarms, schedules, notifications. The invisible machinery of time dictates our existence. We move through life in segments, from morning routines to work shifts, from deadlines to due dates, each moment categorized and quantified. We're taught that those who master their calendars will master their destiny. But what if mastery over time is a beautiful illusion? One that blinds us to something infinitely deeper. Modern culture worships productivity as the highest virtue. We glorify the grind, chase efficiency, and fill every silence with motion. Success in this world is measured not by inner peace, but by external output, by how much you can do before the sun sets. We've become accountants of minutes, obsessing over how to use them better, faster, harder. Yet in the process, we've forgotten why we're using them at all. Alan Watts once said, "You are not a machine, you are a rhythm of flow," and that's the truth our society has silenced. Time as we understand it is a linear measurement, a cold abstraction that slices eternity into neat pieces. But energy is the living experience moving through those slices. It's not something that can be measured on a watch or scheduled in a planner. It's how alive you feel within those ticking moments. We can plan every hour of the day and still end it feeling hollow. We can work tirelessly toward future goals and still feel disconnected in the present. The irony is painful. We schedule our lives down to the minute in the name of control, yet each day leaves us more anxious, more fragmented, more exhausted. Our calendars are full, but our spirits are running on empty. Time management teaches us how to stretch hours, but not how to expand awareness. It gives us the illusion of progress while silently draining the very energy that makes life meaningful. We move faster but feel less. We accomplish more but experience less. And in this paradox, we lose sight of what it means to live inside our time rather than simply survive through it. Because time is external, something that happens around us. Energy is internal, something that happens within us. You can borrow time, steal time, or buy time, but you can never fake energy. When your energy collapses, your world collapses with it. So perhaps the real question isn't how to manage time, but how to preserve the force that animates it. How do we stay awake, vibrant, and connected within a system that demands constant motion? But if time isn't the true currency of life, then what is? What sustains us when the clock runs out? Time management is an illusion if the self within that time is depleted. Every action, every thought, every breath costs energy, the invisible fuel of existence. It is the current beneath every experience, the unseen thread that weaves your inner and outer world together. Yet most people live as if this current were infinite, pouring it endlessly into tasks, people, and pursuits that leave them drained and disoriented. They speak of being tired, burnt out, uninspired, but rarely ask the deeper question, where is my energy going and why? When we hear the word energy, we often think of physical stamina, the ability to move, to lift, to endure. But real energy runs far deeper. It is emotional clarity, mental presence, and spiritual coherence. It is the harmony of being fully aligned, body, mind, and awareness moving as one. True energy is not about how much you can do, but how fully alive you feel while doing it. Alan Watts once described the human experience as a dance, not a machine running toward an endpoint, but a living rhythm unfolding moment by moment. To him, energy was consciousness in motion. The body and the soul are not two separate entities, but one continuous vibration. When that vibration is balanced, life feels fluid, effortless, even magical. But when it is fragmented, pulled by worry, fear, or resistance, fatigue follows like a shadow. Energy leaks in ways we rarely notice. It seeps through overthinking, through the mental noise that never stops. It drains through emotional clutter, grudges, guilt, anxiety, and the weight of pretending to be okay. Every unresolved emotion acts like a program running quietly in the background, consuming. Digital overstimulation amplifies this drain. Endless scrolling, comparing, reacting, absorbing. We mistake mental activity for awareness, but the two are worlds apart. Activity scatters energy. Awareness gathers it. When your mind is in conflict, your energy divides. Part of you moves forward, another part resists, another doubts. That division is exhaustion. You don't need to run a marathon to feel drained. A single hour of inner resistance can empty the soul. This is why so many people with fewer obligations, yet calmer hearts, seem more alive than those endlessly busy. They protect their energy like sacred ground. They understand that peace is not the result of having more time. It's the byproduct of being whole in the time you have. Look at the people who move through life with ease. They're not necessarily rich, famous, or endlessly productive. They simply radiate coherence. Their presence feels magnetic because their energy isn't scattered. They have mastered the art of being rather than constantly doing. What's often emphasized that life is not a journey from point A to point B, it is a musical thing meant to be played. When you are present, truly here, life expands beyond minutes. A single moment of deep presence can feel eternal, while a whole day of unconscious busyness can vanish into dust. To live energetically aware is to become sovereign over your attention. To realize that where you place your awareness, your energy follows. And where your energy flows, your reality grows. This is what we might call energy sovereignty, the conscious ability to direct your inner resources instead of being unconsciously drained by the noise of the world. It's not about isolating yourself or rejecting responsibility. It's about living with intention. Energy sovereignty begins when you recognize that every interaction is an exchange, a conversation, a thought, a worry. Each one costs energy. The question isn't whether you'll spend it, but how wisely. Outer success often demands that you spend energy recklessly, sacrificing inner vitality for external gain. But true wealth lies in the opposite direction, in conserving, aligning, and channeling your energy toward what genuinely matters. There's a quiet power in calm purpose, in doing less, yet doing it with full presence. This calmness isn't laziness, it's precision. It's choosing quality of consciousness over quantity of action. Tired ambition rushes and consumes. Calm purpose flows and. The person who acts from alignment radiates more impact than the one who acts from agitation. When you begin to see your energy as sacred currency, everything changes. You start valuing silence over noise, depth over speed, connection over attention. You stop running after time and begin inhabiting it. Because when your energy is aligned, time bends around your awareness, minutes feel longer, richer. Life becomes less about control and more about rhythm, less about reaching a destination, more about dancing within each step. This is the secret most people never realize. Your life is powered not by the ticking of the clock, but by the quality of energy animating each moment. You could have years ahead of you and still feel lifeless if your energy is fractured. Or you could have a single day lived fully and consciously and touch eternity in that one breath. But if energy is the real treasure, why do we waste it so freely and on what? Your energy is your life force. Where it flows, your reality grows. It's not what you do that drains you. It's what you carry while doing it. Most people assume exhaustion comes from activity, from working too long, doing too much, but the truth is subtler, quieter. Energy is not lost through motion alone, but through the weight of what we hold inside while we move. The mind can tire the body faster than any labor ever could. Energy leaks through the unseen cracks of our inner world. Constant comparison, guilt, and unresolved emotion. Every time you measure your worth against someone else's, a part of your spirit slips away. Comparison is the thief of vitality. It teaches you to live outside yourself, to spend energy sustaining illusions instead of truth. Guilt and regret chain your energy to the past, forcing you to replay scenes you can no longer rewrite. These are the invisible taxes we pay for not forgiving ourselves. Then there's the myth of multitasking, the badge of honor in modern life. But multitasking doesn't multiply your energy. It fractures it. Each switch of attention scatters your awareness, like light passing through broken glass, diffused, weaker, less radiant. The human mind was never built to be everywhere at once. True presence is a single flame, not 1,000 flickers. And yet perhaps the deepest drain comes not from what we do, but from what we hide. We live in a culture that glorifies strength where to appear vulnerable feels dangerous. So we pretend to be fine, to be strong, to be unaffected. But pretense is heavy. The emotional tax of pretending to be okay can drain more energy than any honest breakdown ever could. Holding back tears costs more than shedding them. Resentment and unexpressed truth weigh the heaviest of all. To suppress truth is to create friction inside the soul, the constant tension between who you are and who you pretend to be. What's once said to let go is to be light again, and in that simple wisdom lies a quiet revolution. Letting go isn't about giving up, it's about setting down what was never meant to be carried this far. The moment you start noticing what feels heavy, you begin the process of release. Ask yourself which thoughts feel constrictive, which emotions tighten your breath. Awareness is the first act of healing. When you stop fighting what you feel, energy returns, because resistance consumes far more than acceptance ever will. We are drained not by life itself, but by the resistance to living it as it is. The noise, the attachment, the masks, all of them siphon the energy that could be used to create, to connect, to be. Silence and authenticity, on the other hand, don't cost energy, they restore it. And when you begin to release what drains you, you awaken to what truly sustains you. Awareness of energetic leaks restores clarity and freedom. The lightness of simply being. The most alive people aren't the busiest. They're the ones in rhythm with themselves. We've been conditioned to believe that aliveness is found in motion, in constant effort, striving, and achievement. But true vitality doesn't come from how much you do. It comes from how aligned you are while doing it. Like nature itself, our energy moves in cycles. Rise, peak, rest, renewal. The sun doesn't burn all day without setting. The ocean doesn't surge without retreating. Yet we humans, in our hunger to control, have forgotten this sacred rhythm. We try to stay on all the time and call it productivity. Understanding your energy cycle is the first step toward reclaiming your life. There are moments meant for creation and expression, and moments meant for stillness and reflection. When you honor these natural rhythms, you stop fighting your own nature. You begin to live with yourself, not against yourself. What's often reminded his listeners, you are a function of the universe, not separate from it. To resist your rhythm is to resist life itself. This is the art of doing less but feeling more, the very essence of Alan Watts' philosophy. Life isn't about maximizing minutes, it's about deepening moments. You can fill a schedule with endless doing, but that won't make you more alive. Presence is what gives life texture. Presence is what makes 10 minutes of stillness richer than 10 hours of noise. When you start living from awareness instead of urgency, you move from force to flow. Force demands results. Flow allows revelation. Urgency says, I must make it happen now. Awareness says, I am part of something already happening. One burns through energy. The other channels it. The modern world glorifies urgency, but energy restoration begins where urgency ends. Meditation and mindfulness are not luxuries or escapes. They are the maintenance of your life force. They aren't about escaping the mind, but about returning to it gently until it becomes your ally again. Every moment spent in stillness recharges your inner field. Silence is not empty, it's full of information. It's the space where scattered energy gathers again, where your awareness expands and your body rebalances itself naturally. When we redefine productivity as purposeful presence, something extraordinary happens. Productivity stops being about how much you produce and becomes about how deeply you participate in what you're doing. Washing dishes can become meditation. Walking can become prayer. A conversation can become sacred. Watts once said, the meaning of life is just to be alive. It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, but the modern mind, obsessed with control, keeps missing it. To align your outer schedule with your inner signals means listening, really listening, to what your energy tells you. Some days your body asks for rest and your mind demands progress. In those moments, choose harmony over control. Your energy knows the truth before your logic catches up. Forcing yourself through exhaustion may earn you a task completed, but it costs you connection to life itself. Silence, solitude, and simplicity are not signs of weakness, they are amplifiers of energy. In stillness, your frequency rises. In solitude, your awareness clears. In simplicity, your energy finds direction again. Think of yourself as an instrument. Constant noise detunes you, while silence retunes you to the rhythm of the universe. That's why those who seem to do less often radiate more. Their energy is coherent, their vibration steady, their actions aligned. Consider the story of a man who spent years chasing success. Every morning he woke early, filled his planner, and pushed himself harder, believing that effort equaled fulfillment. But no matter how much he achieved, peace eluded him. One day, burned out and disillusioned, he decided to do something radical: nothing. He sat by the river, watched the ripples, listened to the wind. Days turned into weeks, and something within him shifted. His thoughts slowed, his breath deepened, and a quiet joy began to return. When he eventually resumed his work, he found he needed fewer hours to accomplish more. Not because he was working harder, but because he was working in rhythm. His energy flowed, and life responded in kind. This is the Taoist way, the way of harmony. When you stop forcing, life begins to flow through you. The Tao doesn't struggle to move the river, it is the river. Watts often compared this state to music. When you play, you don't aim to reach the end of the song, you enjoy it as it unfolds. That's how energy flows when you stop trying to control it. Gracefully, intelligently, in perfect timing. To live in rhythmic flow is not to abandon action, but to act with awareness. It means allowing your inner seasons to guide your outer expression. When you are in sync with your rhythm, you no longer waste energy fighting life. You move with it as it moves through you. Try this. 1. Begin each day in stillness. Before reaching for your phone, reach for your breath. Ask, what does my energy feel like today? 2. Move with intention. Whether walking, working, or speaking, slow down enough to feel your movement from the inside. 3. End the day in reflection. Instead of counting tasks completed, ask, where did my energy flow today? Did it nourish or deplete me? These small acts of awareness tune you back to the frequency of flow. They return you to the natural rhythm that your soul has always known, but your mind forgot. When you honor your energy, you no longer chase time. Time begins to honor you. Energy mastery is life mastery. Flow is the new form of success. In the end, your life won't be measured by hours, but by how deeply your energy danced within them. Time itself is neutral, a silent witness to existence. It does not care how fast you move or how much you achieve. What gives time its meaning is the quality of energy you bring into it, your presence, your awareness, your aliveness. To live consciously is to treat your energy as sacred currency. Guard it from what drains you. Invest it in what awakens you. Let it flow where your spirit feels most alive. Each moment is an exchange between your awareness and the infinite pulse of life itself. So ask yourself, where will you spend your next breath? In survival or in presence? Protect your energy, honor your flow, and time will unfold as a reflection of your inner power.